Right, so we're going to be starting to look at chapter 7. So this is the first lesson for chapter 7. So we have a couple, vocabulary words to get down first. So first word is equation. So a mathematical sentence showing two expressions are equal. So basically it's a math problem, but then...
Please excuse interruption. Miss Tyson, please report to room 108. Miss Tyson, room 108.
So it's mathematical expression, so it's a problem, but it has something on the opposite or the other side of the equal sign also. So either the answer or maybe a variable that you have to find the answer to. So it's going to have something on both sides of the equal sign. And then the next one, equal sign, contained in an equation separating the two sides. So again, bless you, probably already know what an equal sign is, but make sure you know what it is as vocabulary words. So the equal sign shows that the two sides are equal to each other. So whenever you have a math problem and you get an answer and you put it after the equal sign, it's saying this side is the same as this side. So if you work this side out, it'll equal what's on this side. Don't worry, I'm going to give you time. I'm just going to keep going. Solve. So when you replace a variable with a true value. So if you were given a math problem, x plus 2 equals 5. And you have to find x, or they give you x to make it so that it's a true problem, you can solve it. So remember, we kind of talked about this already in the last chapter. You can't fully solve a problem unless you have all those numbers in it. So if you just have variables where you aren't given what the variables are, you can't totally figure out the problem unless you're given those little bits of information. And then the last one, solution. So the value for the variable. So again, if you're given a problem like 1 plus 2 equals x, and they say, what does x equal? X equals 3. So it's the solution that you get. So solving is the actual working out the problem, and the solution is kind of the answer, or the number that you get. Give everybody a couple of minutes to get all these down, and then have all those written, you can go ahead and open your book to 514. I'm going to put examples up on the board, but this is where we're getting it from. Is everybody done? Got them all? All right. So let's go ahead and do the, oh, huh?
Ashley, can I close the door?
Oh, yeah, definitely. All right, so one last thing, sorry, I forgot I put this, but this is gonna be very useful to you. So you need to write this in your notes also. So use opposites to find missing information. So if you're adding in a problem, you're going to subtract to solve. If you're subtracting, add. If you're multiplying, divide. If you're dividing, multiply. So you're doing the opposites of these certain things. If you want to just put a plus sign in and subtraction sign because you don't want to write all this, that's fine. Just know what the opposites are. So adding and subtracting are opposites of each other, and multiplying and dividing are opposites of each other. This is going to come in handy for what we're doing here. So as long as you know those, you should be good to go. Can't write that all, just write the signs. Write a subtraction sign, plus sign, whatever. So just plus is minus, minus is plus, times, divide, divide, times. It's really all you need. Alright, did everybody get this down? These pluses and minuses, times, divide. Okay, I'm gonna assume yes. Alright, example 1. So, whoop. And again, this is in your book. If you want to look in your book, this is just number 1 on page 514. So it says, is 3, 4, or 5 the solution of the equation a plus 7 equals 11? So write that down, please. All of it in your notes. Even though it's in your book, write it in your notes. I want you to have some examples here. So this is one of those things. Now, they give you some numbers. So for this one, you can do this 2 different ways, whichever works for you. The first way is you can substitute the numbers that they give you in place of the variable a. So we'll do that way first. So 3 is the first number. So 3 plus 7 equals 11. I'm going to write all of these down so we can work them out and figure out which one is right. So remember, the important part is you're looking at both sides of the equal sign. So this side of the equal sign and then this side of the equal sign have to be the same. So you have to work them out. So what is 3 plus 7? 10. So 10, is 10 equal to 11? No. So that's not going to work. Try the next one. What is 4 plus 7? 11. So that's your answer. So the answer is 4. You would use 4. 5 plus 7 is 12, so we don't want that one either. That's one way to do it. If they don't give you any numbers to try out, or if you just want to do it this way, you go back to what I just had you write down. We're using addition. So what is the opposite of addition? Subtraction. So you're going to subtract 7 from both sides. Now we know 7 minus 7 is going to be what? Huh? 0. What is 11 minus 7? 4. So, did we get the same answer? Yeah. So A equals 4, because that's all that's left over too. Just the A, the equals, and the 4. So 2 ways to do these, but again, only the one way if they don't give you any numbers to plug in. So that's why just using this way is going to be probably more beneficial, because you're going to use it more. So again, knowing what your opposites are is really going to help you with this entire chapter, really. Did everybody get this one down? Good, good? Okay. Example 2. Solve g minus 7 equals 3. So here's exactly what I was just saying. So if they don't give you options, they don't give you number options, then you have to figure it out using the opposites. So g minus 7. So if it's subtraction that they're using in this problem, what is the opposite of subtraction? Addition. So you have to use addition on both sides. I'm going to do plus 7, plus 7. These two cross each other out or equals 0. What is 3 plus 7 though? 10. So G equals 10. Okay? Not so bad. Just again, gotta remember what those opposites are. As long as you remember what those are, then you should be okay. Example 3. All right, so now we have a word problem. I'm not going to make you write this down, so don't freak out. I know y'all are going to freak out. What I do want you to write down, though, is the problem. So the actual problem we have here. So it says the total cost of a pair of skates and knee pads is $63. Skates cost $45. Use the guess, check, and revise strategy to solve the equation. 45 plus K equals 63. That's what I want you to write down. 45 plus K equals 63. Buzz. To find K, the cost of the knee pads. Now, I'm not going to rewrite it down here because we have enough space that I can just do it right below. This one is written a little differently though. So instead of having K plus 45, now we have 45 plus K. Doesn't matter. We still do the opposites and we still figure it out. So if we're adding in this problem, what is the opposite of adding? Or what operation are we going to use? Kendall, what's the opposite of adding? Subtract. So we're going to subtract. Now we can't subtract K because we don't know what K is. We're trying to look for K. So we subtract 45 from both sides. Now we already know 45 minus 45, we're going to get 0, so we're just going to go ahead and cross that out. But we need to do 63 minus 45. So work it out. So what's 3 minus 5? Maddie? 2. Can we do 3 minus 5?
No.
No, we should be borrowing from the 6, turns into a 5, and make the 3 a 13. So now it's 13 minus 5. 8. And 5 minus 4? 1. So K equals 18. Now, to check your answer, plug it in. So I'm going to plug that answer in, 45 plus 18, and see if we get 63. So you can check your work too. So I'm going to put it right here so we actually... So 8 plus 5, what is 8 plus 5? Plus 5. 13. So 3, carry the 1. 4 plus 1.
5.
Plus another 1.
6.
So both have 63 after the equal sign, so it is correct. So again, just a little way to check your answer after you do the problem. Everybody have this down? Good? Okay. All right, that's it. So let's go ahead and, if you don't have your book out already, get your book out, turn to 415 or 514, sorry. Or 515 actually is where we're going to look. So on 515, we're going to take a look at A, B, and C at the top, which are exactly like the problems we just did. All right? So the first one, A, is 4, 5, or 6 the solution of the equation C plus 8 equals 13? So if you have your numbers, again, you can plug them in and try to do it that way, or you can use your opposites. So if I'm going to use my opposites, what would I need to do to solve this problem? If I'm using the opposites here, C plus 8 equals 13. What do we think? What is the opposite of addition? Savannah, what's the opposite of adding? Subtracting. So I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. Both sides of my equal sign. Alright, so 8 minus 8 we know is going to be 0. Now we need to know 13 minus 8. Minus 8. 5. So C equals 5. Y'all are going to be doing some problems on your own any minute, so I will be answering and participating in this lesson here. Now, if you go back to your book, they give you options, right? They told you, or they said, all right, which one is it? 4, 5, or 6. So another way to check your work, if they give you options, you get a number that is not a part of those options, you probably did something wrong, okay? So we know the answer is 5, so we're good there.
I didn't look at that. I didn't see it.
Good. Or, again, remember you can plug it in. Whoop. So 5 plus 8 equals 13. Do it. So 5 plus 8, yeah, it equals 13. So I did it correctly. All right, letter B. 9 minus x equals 2. All right, I want you to do this on your own. So using the opposite, solve this problem. And remember, you can move the operation sign to where you need to move it. Since we can't do anything with x, you can move the sign to where you need to move it. But remember, you're doing it to both sides. So first you have to think about what is the opposite of subtraction, and then you need to use that to solve it, and to solve it on both sides. So both sides of the equal sign is what we need. All right, so take a look at this. Looks like we're having a little trouble, and I think it's probably, again, because the sign is coming after the 9. So what is the opposite of subtraction? Addition. So that's what we need to use, right? And what I was saying was, you can put that plus sign over there so you can solve it. Even though it comes behind it, you can move it so that you can actually do the problem. The more important part, though, is doing the other side of it. So 9 plus 9, and it's actually negative 9, right? Because we have our minus sign. Does that make sense? You're not doing 9 plus 9, positive 9 plus 9. That would be 18. That would make no sense. We're doing the opposite. So it's negative 9, since it's a minus, we want to get back to 0. So it equals 0. What's 2 plus 9 though? Maddie? 11. So x equals 11. So let's plug it in. So 9. Oh. Wait a minute. I did this wrong. 9 minus. Did it wrong. Did it wrong. Go back. I told you how to do this wrong. I'm sorry. Because it's a subtraction. It's not addition. So I'm wrong. Alright, whenever you have a minus, you have to take away what's on the other side of the equal sign. Okay? So, since that minus comes behind, now the reason is, kind of like with when we're doing associative, commutative property, adding and multiplying, it doesn't matter what order you go in, but subtraction and division, it does. So that's why I goofed on this. So you have to take away the other number. So you're going to do 9 minus 2 to find out what x equals. So I would write this down in your notes if you haven't. So you have to take away the other number when the subtraction sign comes after that first number. So what is 9 minus 2? 7. All right? So now we're going to plug it in to see if we're right. And if I had done it the other way that I did incorrectly, it would not be right. We would not have gotten the correct answer. So if I plug in 9 minus 7, does 9 minus 7 equal 2? Yeah. But if I had done, don't write this down because it's wrong. Well, no. It would actually be negative 2. So it would not be right. You can't take 11 away from 9 and still have a positive answer. Does that make sense? So that's why I goofed. I did not look at it at all. Any questions about that? We'll do a couple more like that just so we don't get too confused. All right, take a look at C. The difference between an ostrich's speed and a chicken's speed is 31 miles per hour. An ostrich can run at a speed of 40 miles per hour. Use mental math or guess, check, and revise strategy to solve the equation. 40 minus C equals 31. So again, go ahead and just write that one down. 40 minus C equals 31 to find C. The speed of the chicken. The speed a chicken can run. So this one is just like the last one. Not going to use opposites. Since the minus comes after the number, you need to actually subtract. So subtract the answer from that first number to figure out what C is. Don't forget to borrow. You cannot take 1 away from 0. So you're taking the answer or the solution away from the first number, but again, you cannot take 1 from 0, so don't forget to borrow from that 4. All right, so how should I do this one?
So when you do 40 minus 31, you'll get 9.
Okay, but how do I do it? Solve it. How do I solve it?
0 will be a 10, we'll cross out the 4 and make it
So I'm going to borrow from the 4, make this a 10, and then do 10 minus 1,
9.
which is 9. And 3 minus 3 is 0. So C equals 9. Let's try it out though. Let's make sure it works. So 40 minus 9, so I'm plugging that number in, equals 31. So you want to try it and make sure it works. So 40 minus 9, again I have to borrow. This becomes a 10, so 10 minus 9 is 1. 3 minus nothing is 31. They match, so we did it right. Okay? So again, just a way to check your work too, which is important. All right. Take a look. Take a look at the bottom. Let me just think here. Can't decide if I want to do this today. Let's just go ahead and do this. So let's look at examples 4 and 5. So now they're taking a look at multiplying and dividing, which again, same thing, but you're just using different operations here. So number 4 says, is 3, 4, or 5 the solution for the equation? 18 equals 6z. So let me ask you this first. What operation are they using here? 18 equals 6z. Multiplication, because that number and the variable are right next to each other. So since they're multiplying, what do we need to do? Divide. So we're going to take 18 divided by 6. Just plug it into your calculator so we don't have to worry about waiting for this. So 18 divided by 6 is 3. So 3 equals z. And again, since on that problem they give you choices, if they gave you that choice, then you're good to go. If they did not give you this choice that you come up with, you probably did something wrong. I'm going to plug it in though to make sure. So 18 equals 6 times 3. So is 6 times 3 18? Yeah. So we did it correctly. right, and then let's take a look at 5. So example 5. 16 divided by S equals 8. All right, so 16 divided by S equals 8. Again, when the sign, so just like subtraction, same with division. When the subtraction or division sign comes after the number, not before, you're not doing the opposite, you're doing the same. So we're going to do 16 divided by 8.